This is Continuum Drag, a podcast where we watch sci-fi, fantasy, and everything in between. This week, Strange Luck, episode 17.
Somebody sent me an email message. It wasn't you, huh?
Are you kidding? I just got a cell phone.
Welcome to Continuum Drag, the podcast that's run out of luck. I'm Luke, here with my co-host Jordan. What's real, Jordan?
I was really hoping when we got to this last episode, this is, I guess,
Is it all
what's
going to
real.
come together?
Yeah, it was all, no, it was just like, I just was hoping for a fun episode, not like a, what do you call it, like
An absolute shit show?
like a mythology episode, you know?
Well, Jordan, bad news for you.
I know.
But yes, we have escape-podded to the final episode of Strange Luck.
Yeah.
This is it. We're here for the final episode of the series. We've missed 10 episodes, Jordan. We've skipped 10 possible episodes we could have watched.
Yeah, I could just imagine the adventures that Chance got up to by chance.
Yeah, you're going to imagine what they are right now because we're going to play a game.
All right. I hope it's what I think it is, which is what happened in those episodes.
Yeah, of course. That's what it is. That's what we always do.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, I've got 3 episode titles here, and I wanted you to see if you can figure out what the episode would have been about for Strange Luck for these episodes based on the title.
I just know based on watching the show, even the episodes we saw, there's no way I'll get anything close to this because they're so absurd.
All right. First one, Hat Trick.
Hat trick is it actually starts in a funny way, which is Chance just loses his lucky hat that we've never seen before in the show, but the
hat is also lucky, separate from him.
They established in the opening, the cold open, that he has a lucky hat, and it's picked up. It blows off his head or something, and it's picked up by some kid who ends up wearing it to a hockey game, and he gets like his lucky winning seat, and then DB Sweeney / Chance Harper has to pretend to be a professional hockey player and play for a team to I don't know, save the day because there's a bomb or something. It really fell apart at the end there.
It really gave up the episode itself. Well, Jordan, what it's really about is Chance meets an NHL draft prospect whose antics are too wild for the league.
You know that's just because DB Sweeney can skate. They're like, we got to have a hockey episode.
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
The title is The Liver Wild.
Hold on. The Liver Wild?
Yep, that's what it is.
So, and is wild spelled W-I-L-D, or is there an E at the end?
Nope. It's just normal wild.
The Liver Wild. In this episode, it's actually when his brother is there, and he Chance contracts hepatitis, and he needs his brother to give him a transfusion, and
How lucky.
It's really most of the episode just takes place in the hospital room. It's a bit of a bottle episode.
I mean, that's basically the episode we're about to watch.
That's true.
The Liver Wild, Jordan, was about Chance and Angie go fishing and encounter D.B. Cooper-style parachuting criminals.
Whoa. I kind of wish we watched that one.
That would have been bad.
Yeah.
And your final one, Jordan. Here's your final title.
Yeah.
In Sickness and in Wealth.
This one actually is a pretty fun episode. It starts. It starts with. Don't make me laugh. Aubrey and Chance. They wake up in a motel, and guess what, Luke? They got married. And so it's one of those episodes where they're trying to backtrack and figure out what's happened the whole time and how this happened. And because like they're handcuffed to each other. There's a
The Hangover. It's the movie The Hangover.
it's like The Hangover, but he's really lucky. Anyways, he needs to figure out what happened. And you find out at the end they didn't actually get married. They were
So when he wakes up at the very start, they wake up, they're handcuffed in bed, and the first line is he looks around, he's like, "Did I get lucky?" And then starts the credits.
That's pretty good. I think this thing writes itself.
Did you call her Aubrey? Is there someone named Aubrey on the show?
Oh, Audrey. I think I might have said Aubrey. That's how well I know the characters.
Who is that? Which character is that? I just can't remember who's
Audrey's
who.
the reporter who also works for. I don't know. She had like 3 jobs.
Oh, right. She's the reporter. Got it. You got it.
Yeah, you got Audrey. Then you got Anne, who's
Angie.
the doctor, and then Angie.
Wait, what's the doctor's name?
Dr. Ann Richter.
They're all named A names?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
That's so weird. How lucky. What are the odds?
What are
They
the
don't have
odds?
A names.
Yeah, it's just easy for him
All
to
of
remember.
his love interests.
Yeah, I know.
Jordan, In Sickness and in Wealth is about Chance going to a bachelor party.
Hey, I wasn't that far off, but to be fair, the title kind of gives it away a little bit.
I mean, it does give it away a bit.
I mean, I think we've survived not having to watch those.
I think we're fine. I don't think we missed anything.
But I really do wish I had watched at least one episode where we had met the brother before.
Oh, well, Jordan, I'm sorry that you have to jump into the middle of knowing the brother here because here's the IMDb summary for episode 17, Lightning Strikes. Chance is struck by lightning and slips into a coma. His brother Eric visits him in the hospital after receiving an email from an unknown person. That truncated summary, of course, was by Justin Boggin.
Yeah, Justin. I was worried when I started this episode that I was just gonna have to watch the brother.
It seemed like Chance was gonna be in coma the entire episode,
and I actually clocked it. He wakes up. Not to spoil this episode from 30 years ago, but he wakes up about 9 minutes into the episode. But those first 8 minutes, I was a little nervous because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it 45 minutes with Eric.
I was also like, what a crazy way to end your season, even if you think you're getting another one, to not have your lead character in it. But again, it doesn't happen. Begins, chances out, he's photographing a big storm for the paper, a big thunderstorm. And later we're told, gets one of the best pictures ever taken in history.
Yeah, and then they show the picture, and it looks just like lightning.
This is a picture of lightning.
Yeah.
Anyway, while he's doing this, he gets this picture. He's driving home in the rain. A hearse suddenly pulls a Yui in front of him, like a Fast and the Furious style. This hearse does like this crazy U-turn in front of him on the street. It's a completely empty street. He's like, what's going on? And the back of the hearse flies open, and an urn flies out and lands in the road in front of him. And Chance is like, an urn? How weird and lucky. I'm going to get out of my car and go pick up that urn. So he gets out, and he picks up the urn this Fast and the Furious hearse dropped. And as soon as he does, he's struck by lightning.
I would say he's hilariously struck by lightning.
He's hilariously struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And Jordan, could that urn not be less important to anything since it never comes back again and no one ever mentions what that was about?
Yeah, that is weird because
they keep doing shots of the
They
urn.
keep
throughout the
doing
episode.
shots
They're like,
of it.
Look at this urn. And I'm like, okay.
and it's like it's interesting looking. Like it looks like it's gonna be something where you're like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
very ornate.
yeah, and you're like, oh, I guess this is gonna come back in some way because this is all a show about chance and coincidences and luck. You're like, no, it's not gonna come back.
Absolutely not. They forget about it 20 minutes in and never go back to it.
But that shot of his shoe, that comes back.
That was what was important.
Because it was so funny because he gets electrocuted, he falls down, and they do a shot of his shoe, which is like kind of opened up, like the sole has come off because of lightning,
like he's
I guess.
the tramp. Like he's the tramp.
That's right. He's a tramp, and you don't hear tramp very often anymore.
No, well, you know the one I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Charlie Chaplin, not. You're talking about the tramp, not a tramp.
Yeah, not any tramp.
The definite article saves you, but I like that it's like the lightning blew his sole of his shoe off, and you're like, oh, that's what's so hilarious. And never, even after watching all these episodes, did I think that's an important plot point.
They do so many shots of the urn later in the hospital. They linger on it so much in a way that's just like
they open after a commercial. At one point, like the camera pans in after the commercial on the urn as he's in bed, and I'm like, oh, like it's got magical powers or something. It's like no, it's just there.
Oh, we don't even know what to do with it. We forgot it was there.
Yeah,
it's
like, so weird.
I can't believe this show, man. I cannot believe it. Anyway, he's in a coma, but as we sort of teased, I guess at some point they found his half-brother Eric Vanderberg in another episode because he's around now.
Let me ask you. I didn't realize, and maybe I'm a dumb guy, but until it was about halfway through, I'm like, wait, it's his half-brother? Did we know that already?
I didn't know until they got to that there's a big reveal halfway through about him being his half-brother where everyone already knows he's his half-brother. And I was like, I didn't know that, so the reveal did not land at all for me. I was just like, what?
I had the same thing where I was just like, oh, it's his half-brother. I was like, oh, okay.
I will when you get there, though, I'll make an argument that even if you knew that reveal wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's his half-brother, Eric Vanderberg, and apparently, since they've met, he's now started investigating the plane crash that Chance survived and killed their mother and half-sister. And he's been like really digging into it. He's really trying to get to the bottom of what happened there. So much so that I'm just like, why did Chance never investigate?
Well, there's something interesting because now we've gotten to this end of the show, and this has been the mystery through line throughout the show, as like sort of like the B plot or C plot in these episodes. Do you think anyone cared? Like, it's this whole thing of like, I get as sort of a superhero origin story, for lack of a better term, of him getting his powers, quote unquote, of luck. He has to have gone through this thing. But then they're like, what happened with the plane? Why did it happen? Stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Who cares? Couldn't it have just been a plane crash that happened and now he's a superhero? Why did I don't care. And why did it have to be a mystery? Why couldn't it just be a plane crash?
I felt like they gave up on that midway through the series. Like, I felt like they were treating it that way because Chance seemed to have no interest in it at all. It was just so funny to come back to this last episode.
And full on mythology.
And his brother is looking into it so hard, looking so hard in the plane crash. I'm like, Chance didn't care at all, man. Chance has not looked into this one iota.
Well, because
it happened to him.
I think what we missed is similar to the X-Files, of this time period, and I think this does it less effectively, is I think they were like, standalone episode. Here's a mythology episode. Standalone mythology. And I think we've missed all of those along the way. I think
you're right.
And so
I think when the brother came in, it was all mythology episode.
Yeah. And so to jump into this now, it's weird because we've had like wacky week after week where it's like, wouldn't it be funny if Angie goes out with him and she's lucky? And I'm like, okay, that has nothing to do with a plane crash. And now it's like, and the tone of this is so serious and so focused on this mystery, and I'm like, this was like a purposely like silly show. It's very weird to watch this last episode.
Anyway, the brother is meeting with an FAA guy who's helping him look into the crash. He's got the file from the crash, and much of the investigation that went into it has gone missing. But what he does find out is there were 5 people who didn't get on the plane before it crashed, which is that strange? They're just like, isn't that strange? I'm just like, is it? Is it weird that 5 people missed their flight? I'm like, I guess.
I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, this is like a real stretch of like because of course people didn't, either they missed their flight or
you didn't make your flight.
Yeah, it's like,
change your plans.
It's why planes overbook.
Anyway, but he's like, I that's weird. And then the brother gets a mysterious email telling him Chance is in a coma. Which also didn't really work. Like, the reporter goes and visits his Chance when he's in the hospital, he's in a coma, and they're like, does he have any family? He's like, he has a brother, but we don't know how to reach him. And I was just like, what? And then he gets an email, and he's just like, I'm like, oh, well, the hospital must just have found his email.
Well, there's a weird thing, and I don't know if it's just because we're dropped into this, and most likely it is, but I can't tell what the relationship is between Chance and Eric, because it seems like not combative, but they don't seem terribly friendly, and it seems a little bit standoffish. And clearly, like, Eric has shown up and then gone for various reasons because there's other mysteries and stuff. So it's like, it's just, it's very weird to be dropped into this world and be like, oh, so these brothers, they found each other after 30 years, but they still don't talk at all.
We never get any sense of what Eric's job is, how Eric's life really was, which is our fault. We didn't see it before, but it's just kind of odd. Like, we just don't get any idea. Just, we know Eric is looking into the plane crash, and he's just been unconnective. But this is it. He gets this email saying Chance is in a coma. He goes to visit him. He goes to check out Chance's apartment. He basically gets to see Chance's life while he's in a coma.
Yeah.
Hilarious. He goes to Chance's apartment. He goes through, Chance has that box of his old childhood things that we saw in the pilot. He finds the old jacket that we saw in the pilot that he's like, my older brother gave me this jacket when I was 6 years old, this leather jacket, and I've had it ever since. The brother picks it up, touches it. He's like, hey, what's this inside the jacket? Tears it open. There are 5 passports hidden in the lining of the jacket. You would notice that immediately if you were a grown-up Chance.
Yeah, but he didn't. Well, because he's just too busy, lovingly looking at it. And also, you have to remember that Chance had that jacket in a box for 30 years and didn't want to open and look at it.
But we've seen him pick it up and handle it.
I'm just saying. Remember he had that box? He's like, maybe it's time I finally open this box. And he was like, haven't you had this since you were a kid? Since before they changed your name?
And whose passports are inside of the sewn-up child's jacket? Why, 5 passports for their father, but with 5 different names.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, don't be like a lame spy thing. It's just you guys are spending so much time on something that I'm telling you no viewer cares about. No viewer is invested in why this plane went down. And so you guys are like retconning and backtracking to come up with a reason, and it's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, whoa, your dad was a spy, and so there was a reason the plane went down. I'm like, it's not interesting anymore then, because there's no chance there. The whole point of it, as dumb as this luck thing is the plane should have randomly died, and he randomly didn't die because of didn't get die. I know. Because of some, random thing that happens in the world, and because of this, he's imbued with this sort of ability. Okay, dumb and hokey, sure, but like at least that tracks. But as soon as you start adding all these things, it doesn't make sense why he has this ability anymore.
I don't disagree. We'll get into it a little further down the line because we've got a lot to cover. But of the 5 passports he finds, 2 of the fake names were on the flight manifest of people who didn't board. So 2 of the fake names were his dad's passports. That's
crazy. He's doing the work that the cops never did,
Exactly. Chance, of course, at this moment comes out of his coma at random, and then he sees his brother and he's just like, let's go solve the mystery together. And they're off to the races. And I was just like, why put him in a coma at all? I don't understand.
Well, it was to like have time with the brother, but again, because we don't know anything about the brother, I'm like, oh great, now we're spending time with leather jacket guy.
But Jordan, one of the doctors who was working on him, why, she's a strange woman who maybe isn't a doctor, and is perhaps they're spying on them on behalf of another strange character we keep cutting to, who we never get to see his face, and who sent the email that attracted the brother. And he's like, this is my plan all along. If I sent that email, I knew the 2 brothers would team up and start investigating the mystery of their dad, which I hope to solve. And I was just like, that's such a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things I want to say. One, just on your urn point, when he wakes up, Chance has all bandaged hands, and they make a real point that he has trouble picking up the urn, and it's like a big thing. And I'm like, oh, I guess his brother's going to have to carry it or something. Like, no, don't worry. That urn, it has nothing to do with anything.
We're leaving the urn behind now.
Also, this mystery man we're going to see is an actor named Roy Dotrice, I believe is his last name, or Dotrice. Do you recognize him from something?
No.
Well, he was in Earth 2.
Oh.
He played the guy. Remember the people that lived under the earth that were like with the funny alien people?
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the main guys. He's also from, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I remember him first from, he was in the Beauty and the Beast TV show with Ron Perlman in the 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, he's a fun little character actor. But I saw him, I'm like, I know him from something. And I was like, Earth 2. I remembered.
No, good job.
Yeah,
I did not recognize him at all.
Yeah.
Hey, is that Beauty and the Beast show on our list?
No, it should be, though. I watched it all the time. And then now looking back now, it's like, it was this like soap opera romance thing where they were in the sewers with Linda Hamilton, and I every week I'm like, I gotta watch Beauty and the Beast. I'm like 9 years old or something.
It was your forever night.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, we'll get back to it. Sorry, I really diverted us. Anyway, what they do is they're like, let's go visit. We know who 2 of the people who didn't get on the plane were. Let's go visit the other 3 people. There's a woman and her 2 kids who didn't get on. Let's go visit her. And they're like, hey, you also missed your flight. What happened? And she's just like, well, I was waiting to board the plane. And we get a flashback to her. She's like, and a man came up and he warned us the flight would crash. And then he gave us 3 tickets to a different flight. And I was just like, I don't know if I should believe him, but since these tickets are already in our names, we might as well take this other flight just to be safe. She's like, and that flight did crash. And you know what? That man, he had a beard just like Jesus. I was like,
did she say that?
She's like, yeah.
I don't remember that part. That's funny. But let me just ask you, Luke. Let's say
it's a miracle. That's her point. It's a miracle, and Jesus saved her.
Right. So let's say you and Melanie are going to go on a flight, and someone comes up to you randomly and says, "There's going to be a plane crash, but I'm going to give you guys tickets to go on another flight." Weird that conversation happened. Secondly, you guys are like, yeah, I guess we'll go to the Bahamas instead. You take those flight, also weird. You go take that flight, then you find out the plane does crash. All these people are dead. You do nothing about it. Don't you think the first thing she would do is run to the police, run to the FBI or whoever it is that's investigating, and be like, who bought these tickets? Like, I met this guy. I give a description, all these things. It's like, they're just like, yeah, that's funny 30 years ago. I haven't really thought about it. Good vacation we had, though.
Well, they ask her, she's like, did anyone talk to you about this? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so you felt no reason to
It
mention
was
it.
weird. It was so weird. Like, because the plot sort of hinges on, like, this being an important point. And I get that. Like, they're going to have to investigate, and they're going to slowly get a little information about who this person is and their motivations and stuff. It's all dumb, but regardless. But it was just one of those things where I was like, but that's not how a normal human would act. Like, no one would act like that.
If someone at an airport comes up to you and says, hey, that plane you're about to get on, it's going to crash,
Yeah.
you go and tell someone
Exactly.
immediately
Yeah.
that this person just threatened the plane.
Not like, hey, this is a better flight and better
What
vacation.
a kook.
All right,
this guy's
kids.
a kook.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Anyway, so they get this information, but it doesn't really go anywhere because there's no new information really other than like someone saved them. So Chance and his brother are like, well, let's just go back to your place. And on the drive to his place, Chance's brother's like, hey, Chance, I think some of your luck is really rubbing off on me because I've been feeling really lucky lately. But I'm going to be different than you. I'm not going to be some schmuck who's passive through my entire TV show. I'm going to push my luck. And Chance is just like, I don't know. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it never comes back. Never does he push his luck. Never does it have any effect on this episode.
It's so telling for this show. They have weird things they say, and you assume it would be important because of what the show is, but time and time again, they're like, no, it's not important. But like, hey, do you remember that minor detail? Do you remember that guy was smoking? Well, anyways, that's important for the show. I know you probably wouldn't have clocked that because we kept saying stuff that's not important, but that cigarette that happened in the first scene, that's important.
Yeah. Anyway, they get back to Chance's apartment, and the FAA guy shows up at Chance's apartment. He's like, hey, I brought my friend from the CIA here to meet you. Your dad was a spy for the CIA.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Okay. His dad was a spy for the CIA, was disillusioned after Vietnam, leaked secrets to the press.
Yeah.
They then assassinated him, except the dad actually faked his death in the assassination.
Yeah.
So that he was still alive. So he actually booked two plane tickets on that flight. And then when the CIA saw that, they blew up the flight to try to kill him again. But it appears like he was never on that flight anyway, so they also didn't kill him that time. So he's still alive somewhere. I have so many questions right now, Jordan. A, why did he buy 2 tickets on that flight?
I know. I'll just say this. I know you're going to have questions. None of this makes sense. Like, it's so obvious. They've just come up with an idea for something they didn't have an answer for before, and they're like, and none of it works.
Like, there's no reason he'd buy 2 tickets on that flight. I don't understand why he would, under 2 different names. It doesn't make any sense. He was just
Well,
using the
also,
flight.
he has 2 passports for it. Is he going to check in twice?
Yeah, I don't know. B, does he or does he not know his family's on that flight? Appears like he doesn't because he doesn't tell them. He lets them die because he knows they're going to blow up the plane, so he lets his own family die on the plane.
Yeah.
So it's a coincidence that they were on the same plane? He had no idea.
Yeah.
It's either he killed his family and or he had no idea.
That's the part that didn't quite make sense. I was like, so he knew the plane was going to blow up, but he didn't get on,
So
but
he
let
didn't
his
get
family.
on.
Yeah. Like, it's not, you think it'd be a thing where they're like, the weird thing about it was one family didn't get on the flight, and that happened to be Chance's family. That's how they find out there was something funny about it. And they're like, oh, the reason they had it because they had prior knowledge, and he had prior knowledge because he was a spy and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it's good, but at least it makes sense, right? But it's also be a problem because then Chance's family would all be alive, but...
Yeah, so the basic thing that we get out of this is just like his dad was going to accidentally be on the same flight as them, found out the CIA was going to blow it up. Even if his family wasn't on it, he still did nothing to stop the CIA from blowing up the plane. He just walked away and allowed the plane to explode.
Is that what they would do because they want this one guy so bad? They're like, we're going to kill 300 people.
100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. We'll get to that later, but yeah. So that's what happened. That's what they figured out here. The CIA guy's like, that's what happened. And your dad's probably still alive somewhere, but no one's seen him in like 30 years. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
So they go to confirm the story. They go to the dad's grave and dig it up.
Yeah.
And it's empty. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, why did we do an entire scene digging up
Yeah.
his grave?
Yeah. And both brothers seem like really, they're like, ugh, it's true. It is an empty grave. I'm like, oh.
They're like, let's go see my friend from the CIA again. Maybe he'll have some more information for us that he didn't tell us at our apartment. Let's go to his hotel. He's dead. He's been murdered because it's a spy thing now, so he's been murdered.
Oh, there's a scene that comes up, though. I think it's right about here. So they go to see Audrey. Do you remember this scene?
What?
They go to see Audrey because they want to get info on this nurse Lola that they think's in cahoots because it was
Right,
something
the
funny about her.
strange nurse who doesn't work at the
Yeah.
hospital but was taking care of
And so they're
Chance,
like, well, we
yes.
want to get info on her, so Audrey will have. So they go see Audrey, and what Audrey's doing is she's disguised as
Oh,
a
I'll
homeless
explain
person.
this. I'll explain why she's dressed like a homeless person.
'Cause I saw this and I laughed and laughed. So explain this to me. Why is she dressed as a homeless person?
After they find the murdered FAA guy, they say, we have to go into hiding or we'll be getting in trouble. So they go hide out in a warehouse. So they're like, we're hiding so they can't find us. So Audrey has to dress up like a homeless person so no one follows her to the warehouse to give them information about the doctor.
That's such a long way to go. I thought she was like doing a story, and it just like they just didn't mention it. That like she's like writing like a personal piece on like what's it like to be a homeless person for a week. Like she's Tyra Banks or something, you know?
No. It is just that, like, after that, they're like, we better go into hiding. I know a warehouse. And then at the warehouse, they're like, now what? And we're like, I don't know. Let's call the reporter. She's contractually obligated to appear in 2 scenes.
Oh, I know, it's so bad.
But yeah, she drops by and she's just like, hey, I found out about that lady. Her name's Lola.
Yeah.
Also, the same thing for because basically none of the lead characters have any reason to be here. The doctor, the psychologist doesn't show up. And Angie, the waitress, shows up in one scene for no reason because it just seems like she's contractually obligated to be there.
Yeah, I think she comes by and she's like, she's also in disguise, and she's like,
I
hey,
brought
guys.
you a sandwich.
Yeah. He was like, here's that sandwich you were asking about. Anyway, see you guys later. And I know, it's like, why even have her in it?
Anyway, so they know about this mysterious woman, Lola. So they go to the hospital and just full on kidnap her.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because you think it'd be a scene where they basically like they assume she's working with a bad guy, she's being acting sketchy, blah blah blah. But they go to get her, and you think it'd be a thing where they sort of like know the pressure point.
Follow her.
Yeah,
try to
follow
find
her,
out what
or
she's
like
working
they know
on.
her pressure point and they kind of lean on it a little bit, or they do something clever. But what they do is they literally just do something horrible, which is they just abduct her and then like tie her up.
And she's like, yeah, no, I'm also a CIA spy, and I'm working for my CIA spy boss, Wilfred, who his whole thing is he investigates unusual phenomena, like, being really lucky. And him and your dad had some sort of feud 30 years ago, so he's trying to find your dad still. And I'm like, okay,
I know.
I don't care.
It's so bad. It doesn't make any sense. He's like, yeah, this guy that I work for was your dad's mentor, but they had a falling out and they never really got along. So he's been trying for 30 years to find your father because they had this falling out. I'm like, what? Because they need to finish the chess game they started? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's they do the whole thing like, this has been a chess game they've been playing for 30 years. I'm like, oh my God, no, it hasn't.
well,
It absolutely hasn't.
it can't be a chess game if one person's not playing. The dad's been hiding. They said the dad's been hiding for 30
They
years.
imply the dad's been doing stuff behind the scenes this whole time. I'm like, has he? I don't think so. Well, here's the thing: is like, I don't like. Obviously, they said the dad leaked information, so they tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really explain where the feud started. Like, they never really explain why this like massive feud between Wilfred and the dad's been going
It's
on.
unrelated.
The dad literally shows up in the next scene. He just shows up like, "Hey, it's me, your dad." I'm like, "What?" I just showed up. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, me and Wilfred have been going at it a while. He's still mad at me because, he blames me for his protege. This woman died, his protege. And I'm like, okay. And then they get to, they're like, how did he die? And he's like, well, you see, she was on the plane that exploded that I was supposed to be on, but I got out of there. And I was just like, wait, that means that Wilfred put her on the plane that he himself exploded, and he's mad at you for that. And that's the big reveal. Is he's just like, Wilfred gave the tickets to that woman to get her family off because he needed to get his protege onto the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, but he was blowing up. Why did he put his own protege on the plane and got that family off so that the family, like, why did he even take the family off? Like, none of it makes any sense. Like, none of it, like, makes a fucking piece of logical sense.
I know. And and the thing with the dad is the dad shows up, but how he knew where to show up, when to show up, what's happening isn't clear because he's been in hiding for 30 years. But he shows
He's been
it.
playing the game from behind the scenes.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, boys. Hey, Eric and Chance. It's your dad. And they're like, oh, that's weird. Haven't seen you in a while. And, Chance is like, I'm not sure how to feel. And he'd be like, well, I don't have any connection to you at all. So I don't have it's not like I'm like, I love you. You're like, well, you've never met this man, But there's a scene later on where I think they're in a cab or something. It's a few scenes
Well,
later.
this happens right now. This happens right
so
now.
So they're in this cab. They're talking, and the dad's like, "Hey, anyways, I didn't even know you were alive. I thought everyone was dead. So like, sorry I didn't look for you." I'm like, "How is that possible? How's it possible?"
Yeah.
Like, all you would have had to do is see the first newspaper that comes out after the flight, which we've seen
with
in
all the pictures of your
Yeah.
son who survived.
survived. I was like, how would you not know? He's like that flight that killed my whole family that I let them be on for some reason. Anyways, I won't do any follow up because I'm in hiding.
Well, that's just it. He shows up, dad shows up, like you said. They get in a cab to go somewhere. They're going to take Lola somewhere, and they're trying to figure out a way to like get the drop on Wilford.
Yeah.
But what we find out is that Wilford has the warehouse bugged somehow. I guess maybe it's on Lola or something. But so Wilford knows everything they're talking about for some reason. And they get in this cab. They're like, we're going to go to this pool hall. We're going to meet my CAA buddy. And then we're going to get the drop on Wilford and then prove that like Wilford blew up that plane. So like not even get him in trouble. Just get him in trouble with his bosses at the CIA is the plan. And they're driving over in this cab. This is the scene where you're talking about it. He's just like, sorry, I never looked for you, son. I thought you were dead. And then the dad turns around and looks at them both, and he's just like, hey, luck runs in the family. I've been really lucky my whole life, and that's why Chance is lucky, because we are hereditarily lucky, and that's why that guy hates us and is seeking us, because he loves strange phenomenon like luck. And he turns to Eric, the other brother, and he's just like, oh, and by the way, you're lucky because you're not really his stepbrother. You're my son as well, because when your mother was with another man, I was cheating on him. We were having an affair, and I impregnated him and made him think that you were my son. And then later I married her and then had Chance. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's so bad. It's like you almost want to watch that scene because it's like they had a gun to the head of the writers and like, you guys have 30 seconds to make all this make sense. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of crap that doesn't work. Make it make sense right now. Go. Okay, I'm going to pull the trigger. Like it's so bad. No one would talk this way. None of the information makes any sense because it's like, again, it's that thing we've seen with other problems where other shows where the challenge is they like the idea of setting up these mysteries, which is fine. And maybe there'll be mysteries that go over multiple seasons. Maybe there'll be a short one, but because they don't know what the actual answer is to this mystery or the solution, it ends up having a really bad one when it gets like truncated like this, where you're just like, oh, quick, well, let's make the mystery something, as opposed to being like a disappointing, it's just was nothing, it just was an accident. They're like, we'll just keep adding layer upon layer. They're like, but it doesn't make sense, he's a spy. Wouldn't he have checked? It's like, no, he had 2 passports. But doesn't it make sense but his brother's a stepbrother? No, he had an affair. How are we going to get all this information across? He'll just tell him in a cab.
Well, Jordan, it felt a lot like an improv scene to me where 2 people have said 2 disparate pieces of information that don't line up.
Yeah.
And you just are trying to force the improv scene to work. So you just like spouted a bunch of things that like, you're like, oh, well, this works because this and this and this. And like, just to get it done with, just to like fix the problem. But you're a TV show that had a chance to write it. You're not an improv scene happening in the moment. Like, you didn't need this sequence to happen. Also, Jordan, why are they hereditarily lucky? What does that add to the show?
Well, I'm glad you said that because it's a funny thing because the whole point of the show, whether you think it's stupid or not, and it is that he has been lucky since the plane crash because it was a 1 in a billion shot that a plane crash would happen, everyone's killed, and he didn't. So for the rest of his life, he has this, I'll say, for lack of a better term, supernatural ability. This something is always working in his favor, although he says he's sometimes unlucky. And it's always happened because of this inciting incident. And then his dad's like, no, you were lucky before. Like, oh, so the plane crash has this plane crash that we were bending over backwards and doing as many mental gymnastics as possible to add to this mythology. It actually has no point whatsoever.
Jordan, I also love that you're hereditarily lucky because you're my son, but if you're my daughter, you're fucked.
You know what's funny? I didn't even think of that.
Because his daughter died in that plane crash. It's
Yeah.
only men get to be lucky.
Yeah.
Just like real life, I guess.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's man, I was furious as this whole scene progressed.
It's actually
so mad.
Not to belabor this, but it's shocking how clumsy and how badly written this is.
Such an ugly, ugly explanation.
Yeah, and it's just, and there's like no thought has been put into this. It's just like, let's just tie it up, because like, does any of this make sense? Like, it's almost as if no one stopped and asked any questions. You're like, but wouldn't this person that being killed? It's like, doesn't matter. Keep going. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Anyway, they go to the pool hall. They meet the CIA contact. And then Lola just walks out of the pool hall. The woman they've kidnapped just walks out of the pool hall and then goes and meets with Wilford, who's next door, I guess. Which makes sense later because it's a double cross. But I'm watching it being like, why did she just walk out? Like, I don't understand what's happening here. But I guess the idea is they've turned Lola to their side in a scene we didn't see. Unless I missed something, but I don't think I did.
No, it's all because she's playing both sides the whole time, and you're like, it's supposed to be like I don't know where she is and stuff. It's like, but then the viewer just doesn't know.
So she's distracting Wilford to give them a chance to do a double cross, but the scene they have where she distracts Wilford is an entirely complicated amount of mythology about her.
Yeah,
a woman I just goddamn met, but she's like, Wilfred. When you met me, why did you recruit me? And he's just like, well, I've been watching your family because your family was the one I saved from the plane crash.
Yeah.
But you weren't born yet. You were only born because I saved them and your mom had you later. And because I kept checking on the family afterward for no apparent reason, I don't know, because he's the one who gave him the tickets, and I kept checking in on your family after I saved them but killed my own protege. And then you were born, and I was like, she's cool. I should make her a spy one day. So I watched you grow up from a distance, and then later I made you a spy. And now I can't believe you're betraying me. And I was like, what do you – I don't know either of these characters. I don't care.
It's so
Why
bad.
would he do any of these things? Why would he do any of these activities?
It's such a long scene because they have to do this in dialogue because you can't show it. You can't have it like a flashback, I suppose, of him like watching her with binoculars.
A 30-year backstory for two characters we barely just met.
And so he just has to do this huge explanation as they sit in this warehouse together, and it's just you're absolutely right. It's so funny. It's like, guys, this is the last episode, not only of the season, of the series, and we've just been introduced to these characters, and you're giving all this backstory. It's like there's no time. There's no time for this.
I just love. We just sat through a scene in a car where we were just given revelation after revelation. Like, you're not my stepson. You're my real son. Also, we're all lucky because of Hereditary, except my daughter who has to die. And then Katya's like, the writer's like, wait till they see the next revelation. The other spy guy has been raising this other spy girl since she was a child because I'm just like, well, do you think I'm shocked? Do you think I'm like falling out of my chair? I can't believe revelation after revelation's happening. I don't care about any of this.
The funny thing is, you mentioned that it's all these revelations to these mysteries that they've just set up. But this show is supposed to be a guy who's sort of hapless, who has no real drive, who sort of falls into
floats
stuff.
Through episode.
Yeah, he floats through episodes, but he's lucky, and so kind of quirky situations happen, and no matter what, he sort of gets out of them as fast as he gets into them because he's got this luck, and things just kind of, he always lands on his feet. That's what the show's about, except this episode. Like, Chance doesn't even need to be here. He literally doesn't need to be.
He should be in a coma. He should be in a coma.
He's just, like, all these scenes are happening. He's in the cab, not doing anything. He meets his dad. Nothing happens. He sees his brother again. Nothing happens. He's literally just tagging along, but has no.
The man has never driven action in his life.
Yeah, you could erase him from all the scenes, just knock him out. It wouldn't change anything in the show.
Anyway, while Wilford's distracted, the Chance family breaks into his hotel. He travels with the document that proves he blew up the plane for the CIA. Yeah. So they steal it. They go and give it to, I guess, his CIA boss so that he's going to get in trouble at the CIA for doing the plane explosion, which I'm just like, why would he? Why would he get in trouble? The CIA doesn't give a shit. It already happened.
Like 30 years ago, you did something bad.
Anyway, they give it to him, and they're like, the CIA guy's like, all right, I gave it to my courier already, so it's all taken care of. What if me, the CIA guy we just met, your dad, your brother, and you, we now just go for a random walk through a warehouse for no apparent reason? I don't know why they're doing this next scene.
Yeah. Well, and
it's just like they're just in a warehouse going for a walk, and they're like, well, that's all taken care of. I gave that file you gave me to my courier, and he's taken to CIA headquarters. Let's walk through this warehouse. They're walking through the warehouse. Chance's shoe finally comes into play.
Yeah. So just before this
His shoe
happens,
breaks.
yeah, his shoes. He's like, oh, I forgot I have this bad shoe. He's apparently still wearing the shoe that he was electrocuted in that has the sole that has come off because he's that guy. And so he's like, I gotta tie my shoe for a second. And then when he sees the bad guy show up, he's like, ooh, and he runs up the stairs, so he's not there.
He hides.
He hides.
He
yeah.
hides. And so Wilford shows up. He's like, haha, that courier sent with that file actually works for me. So the file never made it to the CIA. And I'm just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. It's so dumb. I was just like, what do you mean? Like, I don't care. Like, the whole courier thing didn't make sense to me when it was said, but it was just to set up this idea that now the file hasn't made it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's also to show that he can, his fingers are in everything. You know, he's a real deal maker.
Which whatever, who cares? It's so fucking stupid. But this whole episode's been terrible. He's got a gun. He's like, well, now I've caught you, Chance's dad and Chance's brother and random CIA guy. I'm gonna stop you from exposing me to the CIA guys. And Chance is like watching behind some barrels. He's like, I gotta do something. And he looks down and he's like, oh, weird. This barrel of gasoline is leaking. And it's leaking and running all the way to where they're all standing having this conversation on the other side of the hallway. That's weird. And then lightning strikes again and ignites it.
Yeah.
And then the fire burns all the way to his family and his family explodes. And Chance is just standing there being like, oh, no, my family exploded. And he's like blown back and put into another coma. Like he's like thrown into another coma.
Yeah.
His whole family explodes. What is happening?
Yeah. So
Is this luck, Jordan? Is this what luck is?
Well, sometimes he's got good luck. Sometimes he has bad luck. So Chance wakes up at the hospital. I love this
He wakes
part.
up at the hospital. He comes out of another coma.
This might be my favorite part of the episode. He wakes up out of another coma. Audrey's there.
The reporter.
And she basically, so Audrey the reporter, her possible love interest, at least one episode. And basically this is what the scene is. I know it's more than this, but this is pretty much what it is. This is the last scene pretty much of the series. She's like, hey, just let you know everything worked out. Everything's going to be good. I can't tell
He
you
wakes up, he's just like, hey, I saw my family explode.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't worry about it.
No, she's like, just everything's gonna be okay, but I can't answer what happened. Anyways, end of the show. That's it.
So crazy. It's so crazy. He watches his whole family explode, wakes up in the coma. He's like, my family's dead. She's like, are they? No, it'll be okay. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, she literally says
Fuck
it's all gonna
you.
be okay, but she doesn't go like, it's okay. We actually, they got out after the explosion or anything.
He doesn't explain. She just like cryptically says,
Yeah.
it's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay. And then the end of the show.
In a way that you're just at home or just like, I hate you. I hate this show. I hate everything.
This is possibly the worst episode we've seen of the show. It's so bad. It's so bad in so many ways.
Here's the thing, Jordan. I know we skipped a bunch of episodes. We probably did miss. We missed the brother getting introduced.
Yeah.
They teased that they'd met Lola earlier with a flashback, but clearly it's not true. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
woman was wearing a veil he bumped into at some
Yeah.
point. Like, not true. But I guarantee you, nothing that happened in this episode was ever set up earlier. This whole spy thing, it's all being set up now.
Yeah.
The Wilfred dad thing, none of this has been introduced, I guarantee you, before this episode.
No, I agree with you because they, that's the case because every time
They
they
have to
tell you,
explain
they have to explain it
everything.
as a big revelation. So like we would have known that information before.
It's so hard to watch. I couldn't have been angrier watching this episode.
Yeah, it was terrible. Well, it was one of the ones where I was like, I'm so glad I'm done with this show.
Oh my God. Jordan, any final notes you just want to get to ratings?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just rate it. I mean, I think we've said what there is to say about Strange Luck.
Jordan, what do you want to give Lightning Strikes?
1 out of 10.
The final episode.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10?
Terrible.
Too high.
It's like I was just like, do I
Too
give it?
high. It's 0.5, Jordan. It's 0.5.
It's hard to explain to people. Like, here's the thing. We'll just say, Strange Luck is not a good show. And I would argue, and I think I have argued, I can't remember, but over the last few episodes of this, that the basic concept of this never quite worked. It didn't quite solidify into anything that you could explain to someone in a sentence. Because it was like, he's lucky sometimes, but what that means, we're not sure. And how that manifests, it's not clear. And like what they really wanted was, we need a vehicle to get a sort of silly guy into crazy situations that you'd be like, I can't believe on Thursday night he's gonna get stuck on a cab. Like, it's that sort of thing. And like they need to build in a vehicle for coincidences to get him out. Okay, I get that, but the whole idea doesn't quite land of what luck means, and they also aren't clear about it, and they also change it from week to week depending on what's convenient for them. All that said, it's not a great show. I get they kind of want it to be a silly sort of mystery show. The X-Files is popular, so they're like, we want like a mythology and stuff happening. But this episode is so bad. It's a really, really poorly written episode of television where the main character is barely in it. You don't need to have watched any of the previous episodes, and they just dump all this like answers to mythology and questions and mysteries that no one cared about to begin with. They do it in the clumsiest way possible. Yeah.
Mysteries that weren't previously there.
Yeah, and they're just like, let's just dump it all on. And I'm like, is this a way because you knew this show was going off the air and you were like worried that the viewers are not going to have these answers? Or is it that you are trying to show how much more complicated this world is, so we should keep watching for a season 2? I couldn't figure it out because I was like, this tonally isn't even like the other shows, because like Chance is barely in this, and he isn't kind of doing anything kooky or kind of falling into situations. It's just like he's there because he's the lead of the show, but he's not driving the action. Not that he ever drives it, but he doesn't need to be in any of the scenes. All the characters we've met over the time, apparently the writers can't figure out how to get Audrey in the show. They can't figure out how to get Angie in the show. They can't figure out how to get Anne in the show. So it's like, here's his brother, here's his dad, here's Wilfred, here's Lola, here's all these characters, and they all have backstories, and it's all intertwined. And guess what? It all has to do with the show you've been watching. You didn't even know. Did you know that this guy, the coffee cup that's on the outside of the diner, guess what? Wilfred's sister had an affair with a man, and he built that sign, so in some ways he gave Angie a job. You're like, what? What is this? And the whole episode is like that.
Yeah, it's a real mess. And I'll say this too. I think what makes me so mad about this is the closest it's come to being a science fiction show, and only in the idea that they dropped the line that Wilfred has been investigating weird phenomena at the CIA.
Yeah.
But they don't go into any more detail what that means. I'm just like, what do you mean weird phenomena? Just that they're lucky, the family's lucky.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so dumb too.
Oh my god.
It was so dumb. It was
just such a weird thing to be
he's
like, we're
interested,
science fiction though.
He's interested or jealous because our family is lucky. It's like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, yeah.
It's
I could
bad.
pitch how you could make it work, but I'm not going to because it doesn't matter. It's just really bad. All right, Jordan. I just want to punch these numbers in. Let's get the final series rating for Strange Luck.
Okay. Beep boop boop beep beep boop. I know you want me to do it.
All right, here's the final rating for Strange Luck. What do you think it's falling? You want to guess?
I'm gonna say 3.26.
Oh, you're very close. It's 3.57.
Yeah.
I mean, high. I still think high, but
Well, it's weird because I don't hate the show. It just doesn't work. Like on paper, you're like, oh, this is something that would have been on TV, but you're watching, you're like, this is just not a very good show. Like I wish it was, but it's not. Like we didn't have a great time watching this.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Oh well. I mean, it was something. It was something to behold, something to talk about. So I guess we did it. I want to say I'm glad we did it. I don't know if I'm glad necessarily. I won't remember anything about this except for maybe a vague sense of rage.
No, you know what though? That's a very good point because it is unfortunately a bit of a forgettable show. And I think you're right. I think there's going to be like next year we'll be talking about a show and you'll be like, hey, what's a show that happened in 1996? And I'd be like, I don't remember. And you'll say Strange Luck. And I'm going to be irritating you because I'll be like, we watched that show?
You're like, I don't recall any show called Strange Luck.
I don't remember anything. And I've permanently blocked it out of my memory.
Oh, dear. Man. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I can't express how frustrating watching this episode was. I don't think we've watched a series closer that I found this frustrating.
Yeah, it's shockingly bad, this episode.
A show I didn't much like going into it had the series closer that made me hate everything that came before.
Yeah, and that's Strange Luck.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for Strange Luck. You could, of course, as always, can get a hold of us at continuedrag@gmail.com. and on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Oh, and Blue Sky. We'll have clips from this episode, lightning-based, an urn falling out of the back of a hearse in a scene that is like not badly shot, but has absolutely no weight or bearing on the rest of the episode. I couldn't be madder about that for some reason.
The scenes are too long, but I almost wish there was a thing where you could just listen to the dad just in the back of the cab explain the nonsense in one, you know what I mean? Like one just long diatribe. It's just like, this is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it makes sense out of context.
It doesn't.
That's the thing.
It doesn't.
Like, so, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It barely makes sense in context, except that you've been watching it and you're mad now. You're so furious that this is what's happening. Man, oh man, nothing that happened this episode, any explanation that was given, just raised more questions about like how that could even possibly work. Like every time they tried to make it make sense, it made less sense. I don't know,
No,
it's just
but
like, stop.
But hold
stop
on,
trying.
Lola was the daughter of the family he gave the tickets to. Did you not get that?
Did you not get that? And then he watched her for her entire life and was just like, she'd be a good spy. Why? Who's to say?
Well, it's because he knew she'd be a good spy because he worked
He
with
studies
the dad.
weird phenomena.
He studies weird
Well,
phenomena.
and he studies weird phenomena.
And he was jealous of the dad because his family's always lucky.
And they're not even that lucky. They're not even that lucky. His whole family died in a plane crash. His whole family. He did nothing to stop it.
It's only on the men's side.
Oh, good lord. Good lord. But that wraps up for Strange Luck. Not a moment too soon.
He didn't know his son was dead in 30 years. He didn't even know.
He never saw paper. Jordan. I don't know what to say. Yeah, listener, thank you for joining us. Jordan, I will see you on the next one.
I'll see you then.
Can't get enough Continuum Drag? Commission a bonus episode for charity.
Want us to watch an episode we missed after using the escape pod or during a best of run? No problem.
Is there an episode of a series we've never watched or a TV movie you want us to cover? You got it.
Wish we'd comment on your favorite movie, content, or other weird media? Sure, why not?
All you have to do is make a donation to one of the charities selected by past guests on our website.
We suggest a donation of $50 per television hour of content we're watching, but everyone's means are different, so give what you can.
Get all the details about bonus episodes for charity on our website, continuumdrag.podbean.com, or follow the links in our social media profiles.
Continuum Drag is recorded in Ontario, Canada, and Seoul, South Korea. Theme music by James Rick Seidler, produced by Jordan Delic and Luke Black. Special thanks to Aaron Hughes.